new beat. Why do we have that new beat? We're doing something new. Do a new series. New series is going to be called Nose to Tail. And today, we're doing it the infamous P-51, the plane that everybody wants. It's a plane that everybody wants. If everybody was rich and they're into planes, what's the plane they want? Majority P-51 Mustang. Me, I would want the P-38 over here. That's just me though. But if I had a choice of Mustang variant, be an A36 Apache or the Ridgeback B or C model Mustang. Everybody wants the D model, D25s, the H models, and that's good. That's cool. It's the iconic look. It's like having a revolver peacemaker from the cowboy days or a 1911 AK-47. It's that iconic look that you just want. But nose to tail, these planes, at least the C and the B model, they're developed in what, mid 43, 1943. They were developed, I want to say it was in Texas? Not sure if they were developed in Texas, but they were made definitely in California and Texas. They made about 1750, 1760 C variants, which this one is. It's a Charlie variant. And this one actually had the upgraded Packard built Merlin Rolls Royce engines. So we actually could perform with this compared to the old Allison engine in which you find the P40s and the P39, P400s. Those couldn't perform so well above 10,000 feet or so. These bad boys, which was a British engine, British ingenuity, they're like, hey, how about we put that Spitfire engine in this new American thing right here? They did it and they saw it perform. We're in like, this is a contender now because before the thing was kind of a dog, maybe like a dirty dog, if that, it was bad. But once it got that British engine in it, dude, thing was performing. But yeah, Ridgeback. This one only has 450 cal machine guns compared to the later variants had six. I think that one British version has two, or I think four Hispano cannons. I can't remember the name right now, but the British did put four Hispano cannons in the B model, I want to say. Not specifically sure about that, but I want to say it was the B model. Um, so yeah, we use this plane late 43 all the way to 45. Even with this variant, the C models did see action in late 45 in some theaters. But by that time, most of them were already canceled out. They were kind of more backline units or people transitioning into the P-51 model would probably start on these. And eventually, when they get to the front lines, they jump at the new hot rod of the D model. And yeah, so this plane was feared because this thing could actually go with the bombers all the way to Berlin and past and back, guarding them the whole time with those long range fuel tanks that they had. I mean, before that, P-47s, P-38s would be turning around. I want to say around the border of Germany, maybe barely into Germany. That we started to turn around, go home. Spitfires barely did that. They've made it in France. They're like, all right, we got to go, bro. So when this thing came out, I bet you the Germans and the Italians were like, whoa, wait a minute, what is this thing? There shouldn't be planes right now. And they actually had to contend with those pilots flying this thing. Um, Sadly, in the beginning, it seems like from reports, they did tango with the Germans and they didn't really guard the bombers as much as maybe they could have. They kind of, were trying to get their kills, and a lot, a lot of aces in this plane right here. A lot of them, a lot of good groups. Off the top of my head, obviously P-51 groups were like Red Tails, flying Red Tails, the Blue Nose Bastards of Botany. There was a lot of good freaking units out there that flew with this plane that eventually transitioned into it, and then some actually transitioned from the P-51D models into P-47s late in the war because these things were so fragile to ground fire. You got one bullet into this coolant system or in this engine, you ain't making it. You shoot the heck out of a P-47. There'll be pistons coming out, rods freaking jingling and jangling, and that thing is gonna make it home. So a lot of units late in the war, since this thing couldn't carry a lot of ordnance compared to the P-47 as well, transitioned to the Thunderbolt because it was just way more rugged, took more damage, carried more ordnance, and there was not a lot of Luftwaffe left at that time. That they're just like, you know what, let's pull some of these units back, push them into something else that's going to be a little more durable, more suited for ground attack, and support the troops on the ground, and that's what they did. I mean, regardless, this thing was awesome. I mean, Pacific Theater. I mean, they literally took what was it, Iwo Jima, so they could have a frontline base for these planes to escort the B-29s at the time, because they were so far in the island chain that they could barely make it to Japan, if at all, with these Mustangs, even with the tanks, because they even made bigger tanks later in the war. They were looked like torpedoes. They were like double the capacity. But the main reason, one of the main reasons, I should say, because there's probably multiple reasons, they took Iwo Jima to have a frontline base for the fighters to help the B-29s defend off the Japanese Air Force attacking them, as well as a contingency for the B-29s to land at a frontline base if they were injured, damaged, crew hurt, X, Y, and Z, and get to services and medical freaking people quicker than trying to fly all the way back to their home base, wherever that was. I want to say it's like 310 or 12 Mustangs still around the world, which is kind of crazy because when you think about how many they made, I want to say they made like 15,000 or more of these things. There's only like 310, 312 left that exist. Like 165, maybe 160 that actually fly. I mean, when you think about how many planes, just vehicles in general, that were made in World War II, there's only so many of them left. There's like one P-61 Black Widow that I know of. There's like a few. What's it called? What's that one plane? I'm blanking. I'm blanking, guys. But yeah, like there's like 10 P-38s. There's like maybe like 20 Corsairs. Maybe another handful of Zeros, actual Japanese Zeros. There's like five Focke-Wulf 190s that are around. There's like half of them fly, maybe. So I mean, out of all the aircraft, let alone tanks and everything that were built, so much of it was scrapped. Like just like beer cans, crush them all up. Like I remember seeing years ago there was a picture. It was an island in the Pacific where there was just P-47s and P-63s just like piled on top of each other, just doggy pile dumped on top of each other in a trench. Black and white photo next to some palm trees, just like 3 or 4 high, just like dumped on each other. It's like, oh my god, I'll take one of those. You know what? I'll take three. You know, it's just, and they just became scrap metal. All those man hours and everything put into these aircraft just to become scrap metal and whatever they needed them for, aluminum for more or less. But it is what it is. It's sad when you think about it. But to go back in time, I mean, after the war, I heard like a B-25 in '46 cost like 50 grand, or a P-40 was like 20 grand. It's just like, yeah, it's probably like 3 years worth of pay in that freaking pay scale. But to go back in time and be like, I want one of these. I'm gonna put them in a hangar that I know it's gonna be there in 50 years, and just come back and you got some cool planes. I think that would be pretty gnarly. But we're getting into it. P-51C. There's a few of us. Look at that. You got any cool markings? Nope. He's stock. He's stock. We got some bombs. My plane is also stock. I don't even have upgraded bullets yet. So let's see how well I can do with this thing compared to my other Mustangs that I have. They have everything. They have all the modifications. But this thing, as I was saying, it's a Ridgeback, so we don't have the visibility as the D model does. You got this stupid bar, how they made cockpits back then. You know, P-38s, P-39s, P-40s. They just have this lovely rail right in the sight of the pilot. Like, come on, I can't even duck in this game. But yeah, that's how they made things. They call them, I want to say, bird cages. But besides that, look, we got a yoke instead of a stick. Looks like everything's pretty much smitten right there in front of you. Looks pretty freaking solid where everything was. For some reason, my foot is through the floorboard right there. Yeah, so P-51 C model is it's a good looking aircraft. I like it. Just like the P-47s with the Ridgeback, I kind of like that look more than the D model 47s with the bubble canopy. I mean, obviously there's a reason they upgraded, but for aesthetic looks, I don't know why. It's like looking at an old Peacemaker or 57 Chevy, AK-47, you know, certain cowboy hats or some shit like that, where it just looks right. To me, at least. Bet you a lot of you are like, nah, bro, D model all the way. For me, I want the Z, or I want the Apache, actually. That's my plane. But if I was really rich, I'd buy a P-38. Second option would either be a 47 or Corsair. And my third option, you guys are gonna hate this, is a Focke-Wulf 190. But that's me. I'm weird. I go against the grain. I'm not trendy. I mean, this is a cool aircraft, but I don't know, man. I mean, if I had a fourth option, it'd probably be, ooh, it's a tough one. I almost want to say 109 or ooh, what's that one German twin engine plane? 123 or something like that. Has 4 cannons in the nose. It's a tank destroyer. Later on, they put like a 50 mil under the freaking belly. God, I can't remember the name right now. Yak 7 would be cool. Yak 3 would be cool. I mean, Mustang is definitely not on my top 5. It's kind of weird. I mean, there's fighter pilots that would be flying F-15s and A-10s and F-22s. Their dream plane, from what I've heard in some of these interviews, is to fly one of these. Isn't that funny? They fly one of the coolest aircraft ever made, and they still would rather fly a P-51 Mustang. Anyways, let's get into it. We're at 11,000. Let's turn into the battle, see if we can help some stuff out. We're way out here. I was just rambling. Sorry, guys. And I only have 1,200 rounds. See these? That's what sucks about these Mustangs. Compared to the later ones, I want to say the later ones have almost another third, another 700, 800 rounds. That this does easily over 2,000 rounds, I want to say. So this, I got to get up close, and since I have default ammo, I have that regular ball round. It really doesn't do damage against some of these aircraft down here. I've already lost 2 Mosquitoes, a 51 and a B-34. They lost 1 dude so far. Alright. So let's do this. Do a little nose down, get some speed up. Just a little pin it for another 10 seconds or so. Maybe help this Mustang right here. Yeah, I'm going to help this Mustang right here. I'm going to help my Pro 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And of course he turns the way I don't want him to turn. Alright, we got him. We got him. P-47's probably looking at me. Yep, P-47's definitely looking at me. Oh, he got me. Dang it. Too fast. Nah, P-47's probably looking at me. I'm going to go straight up. Yep, he's shooting at me for sure. Yep, he's got me. He's got me. Yep. He really had all that speed? Dang. I thought he would have stalled. Yep. P-47. God, I was about to say 51. 850 cals, bro. He was just dumping rounds. It's all right. We got one down. Oh, look at that. I told you guys I didn't have nothing on this plane yet. Let's go again. Hopefully you guys are doing good. What's new? I don't like this level. But I don't know. I haven't played this game in a little bit. I need to get back into it. I've been busy. Work, fire season. It's always busy during fire season. K-61's a cool plane. Tempest would be a cool plane to own as well. I don't think they have K-61s around anymore. That's one plane they probably built a good amount of that are just not around anymore. J-21As. Excuse me. All right, let's get up and going. See, I don't know what it is, man. You don't hear a lot of things about the Russian Air Force and their pilots, but those Yak 9s just look good. Yak 3s look freaking better. But I don't know. MiG 3s, that's one plane I definitely like using. I bet you they don't have any of those around anymore. Alright, we're going to fly over the sea, get some altitude. Hopefully we get something going on this one. Since the last battle, I obviously miscalculated the speed of that 47. I should have just started turning with him since I turned better than him. I was more concerned that that Spitfire was going to see or hear me pass him within what, that 100 feet, 200 feet I was next to him, and just spin around and kind of just start dinking me in the side or the freaking plane or the tail of the plane. And I didn't look back at that 47. I knew he was there, but I didn't look back to actually judge if he had speed, and I just went straight up doing the normal, like, alright, I'm going to freaking use my speed to pop over the top, come back down. But that 47's engine is so powerful that it makes these Allison engines or these Packard-built Rolls-Royce engines look like nothing. This is like a cool little sports car, maybe like a BMW, Jaguar, you know, decent six-cylinder, or like maybe a Mustang, 302 Mustang, right? Let's go Mustang. Like 302 Ford Mustang compared to the 47s is like a big block Chevy, big block Charger, where it's just gonna grunt and freaking pull and pull and pull. That's why I like those Hellcats, Corsairs, and P-47s, because they all got that same engine. Pratt Whitney R2800 that has like 2,000 plus horsepower, and then other variants later on had like 2,400 horsepower, something like that. So those things are just muscle cars. They don't turn as good as this. This thing turns great, but that engine, you won't get anything better. I think the only other plane that can contend with that is maybe like a Tempest, or Mosquito. It's the same engine as this. So maybe a Tempest, or like the later Griffin Spitfires, those Griffin engines. My cough is getting cold, gentlemen. Do a little zoom climb. Back up this Yak 9. Yeah, what's over here? P-51, P-52. That's that British one I was talking about. The British Mustang that has 2 or 4 Hispano cannons, 20mm cannons. That thing is gnarly, but it only has 500 rounds. And you can't really turn fight with it because it's so heavy because of the cannons. The turning ability drops significantly. And if you're turn fighting with that thing and shooting those cannons, those things jam so fast, unless they fixed it, which I doubt they did, but those things jam like fucking peanut butter and jelly. Alright, what do we got up here? What do we got up here, gentlemen? We got 190. Do I want to lose my altitude to him? 2 109s. We got ETD being chased by some people right there. Alright, coffee's done. It's cold. I'm over it. 190s. Ooh, 190s. That guy's done. That guy's done. So there's all of us right here. So I'm gonna stay high. See if I can sucker in this 109 right here. Since all of us just dropped down for no dang reason. He's turning into the yak. So I'm gonna do a zoom climb. Use my altitude advantage and my speed advantage to get that little bit more oomph. Put my nose down, get my speed back up. Someone's getting mad in the text. You see that? Someone's getting way mad. That's funny. Alright, Yak just got smoked, so I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to bring him down. Okay, that 109 sees me. Dive straight down. Alright, we're doing this. Yep, he didn't think that was going to happen, did it? His friend's chasing. Nope, not going up that. Nope, not dealing with that. Come on, turn, P-61. I met a gentleman at work where his dad flew one of those P-61s in the Pacific Theater, I want to say, he said. Come on, come back down. Come back down and play. Let's say I know there was a third one. There he is right there. Come on. Alright, you got that. Come back around, see if I can help this guy. Gotta remember, I only have 1,100 rounds. This thing does not hold rounds. Cut him off. Put some flaps into him. Oh, that's some horrible shots right there. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Got his flaps. Got him. Let's get my altitude back up. Where's that third guy? He's well over there. And let them chase those guys. We got 2 planes up, so one's to my 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. There's the other one. $500 rounds. Do I shoot some ground targets, you think, guys? Or try to contend and help these guys? Oh, that A-20 is getting chased. See, I did not see that. Okay, so he's done. Game's about to be ended. One guy left. No, Sea Blue was at 6, 7, 8, 9 of us versus 1. Yeah, sorry, sir. You're not going to last that long. Especially with Yak 9s on you. That'd be cool if the P-61 got the kill. I'm surprised he didn't die on that head-on. 51 in the LA-7? Oh yeah, this guy got smoked. Oh, I hit his debris! I tried to turn away and his plane flipped right in my wing, guys. Oh man. I wonder how many times that happened in real life. Going down! I'm hit! Or I crashed! And pancake. Yes, yes, sir. What do you think, guys? Do one more? We can do one more. Why not? We got one kill. Not too bad, but not too great. But we did get one for one. Oh, I totally. There's my. Oh, got some ammo. That's good. That's funny. Totally missed that. But yeah, I mean, even with the 109, this P-51 was right on par with the 109, if not better, because I think the 109, since that intake on the side of the engine, it doesn't turn well to the left. I want to say. God, I can't remember. One of the directions, the 109 doesn't turn as well as the other direction because of the intake on the side of the BMW engine that it has there. Yeah, Mustang can definitely hold its own versus 109, although the 109 has that cannon. But maneuverability wise, it's worth it. Range wise, Mustang all day. 109 does not have range. Now that we have some stuff, so we have. Oh, I did have incendiary. I did not know that. M8 120. I'm just gonna do all incendiary. All right. I wonder if there's any more of those left in the world. C205s. Those are good looking aircraft. I have one of those as a model on my bar. I haven't painted it yet, but I definitely have one of those. I have one of those. What do I got? P-47, P-51C. One of these. F4U and a Messerschmitt 262. Looking for other ones. I might get a Focke-Wulf. I mean, I know there's a P-38 out there, but they're expensive, man. Like $150 for a P-38 for that specific brand. So I don't know. Maybe one day. Seen a couple 109s out there. It's kind of cool. You know, like most of us, we're nerds. We're nerds about certain things, and at least the people watching this video are nerds about airplanes, especially World War II airplanes. That's where it all really began for most of us. I mean, World War One, that's where it started. But the style and the provenance, as one would say, I think, for most of us, was World War II stuff. I mean, we all like the jets. We definitely all like jets. We all like MiGs and Saabs and Typhoons and Sabres and whatnot. But I think most of us, one of our dream planes is probably a World War II plane. Stop me when I lie. Anybody? Anybody? What's your favorite World War II plane? Anybody? Write it down. Let me know. Let's talk about it. This level, I don't know why. I've never liked this level. What the? What? What? Does it get shot at from across the map? All right, let's just get my speed. No one's gonna be that high in this level. We're so close. All right, let's cool it back down. Bring it back. I'm trucking along right now. P-25 looks like a good freaking target, but I'm guessing one of these guys are gonna go for it. There's four of us right here. So 109 turned in. Dark 3E definitely turned in. And that P-51's chasing, so yeah, I'm just gonna go up. They got this guy. He just ripped off one of his flaps, trying to evade. Oh, he's on fire. I say the 109 did that. P-51's gonna clean it up. Feels like I'm a sports broadcaster right now. P-51 trying to beat 25. Coming on. He's getting in the pocket. Ooh, the 51 got smoked by the 25's freaking gunner right before he dives right in. Yep, B-25's diving in. He's done. Sakine. What do you guys think? Sakine? That thing turns pretty well. P-47 to my left. All those guys will probably engage him. Spitfire is going to burn me on turning. Same with the K-44. I think I have a duty to help this 109. Well, that roll rate is not as good as I wanted it to be. Really? I'm not going to go for him. Going to drop back down to Sakine. Not turning with the 44. All right, popping back up. 1-6. I-16 is never fun to fight. I'll go for the spit. I feel like the 1-6 is on me. Nope. Stick with the Spitfire. Spitfire's done. 16 is just dropped my guy. And he's on me. Of course he's on me. Should be able to outrun him. How am I not running him? What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, he has the cannons. That's why. Type 27. So the Type 27 has cannons, as you see. That's why he ripped out my wing with one round. But I should have outran him. See, that didn't make any sense. He came out of a turn, and I was not running him. He was gaining. And that, as most of you know, is maybe a little bit of Russian bias, as people would say. You know what I mean? Agree with me? Anybody? Russian bias, just a little bit in this game, ever since the beginning. But hey, that's why we play this game. It's like playing Tarkov. If you want to get beat up and freaking have a hard time, you play Tarkov. If you want to have a fun time and just shoot around and get 17 kills with 2 deaths, you play Call of Duty. But there's a big margin of skill between those two games. Just like if you play this game and Ace Combat. Ace Combat, you got fun all day. This game, it gets rough. I mean, I got 2 kills, but I got burned on the end by an I-16, which is a World War I aircraft that was chasing me down. Kind of funny. But everybody, that is the P-51 Charlie model. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna do a few more of these, see how you guys like them. Like I said, nose to tail. That's the new thing. Nose to tail. Do some information. Give you guys a little lowdown, a little history on these planes. See if anything is still flying. We're gonna get into some battles, at least 2 or 3 battles. And yeah, hopefully you guys liked it. You know what to do. Comment, talk crap, whatever you want to do. Suggest an airplane. Let me know. We'll get into it. All right. You guys have a good day, because I'm definitely going to have a good day.